YouTube battle community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens. We're here today for another topic video about the Beach Boys SMiLE. I'm holding my little copy here from the SMiLE Sessions box set. Really nice, faithfully recreated cover here. Today's topic, as you saw from clicking on the video link here, is what if SMiLE actually came out? What if it was finished? What if Van Dyke Park stayed on for the whole time? What if Capitol was behind it the whole way? What if the other guys around him stuck around? What if the guys in the band were like, all right, cool. What if everyone was just fully on board? And here's my reasoning behind that. Each time the Beach Boys put out something, it bettered what they did the time before. In terms of singles, albums, live shows, they were always improving over and over and over again. And by the time you get to Pet Sounds, you know, while it was a top 10 album, but it wasn't like number one, so Capitol got scared. But they came back even stronger with Good Vibrations, which was like, it still is, one of the most ambitious pop singles ever released. And it was a number one smash across the world. So Capitol was definitely like, all right, you got something here. You're not totally off the mark. Keep going, keep trying. When you have a number one, you kind of get a little bit of a leeway because the record company's kind of like, ooh, we can make a lot of money off this guy. Maybe he'll do another one. Let's just let him do his thing and see what happens. If Capitol stuck around the whole time and everyone around Brian was supporting him and just going with the flow to make this thing happen, and it came out, what do you think would have happened? Do you think if SMiLE came out, it would have done poorly in America? Because Pet Sounds did really well for itself. It was a top 10 album, but in terms of Capitol's eyes, it was quote-unquote a failure, which is why they put out Best of the Beach Boys Volume 1. So who knows? I personally think SMiLE would have been a massive number one hit in England. I think it would have been in the top 10, probably in America as well, purely based off of Good Vibrations. I don't know if it would have been a number one album. I'm not sure about that, because the album itself is freaking weird, man. Like, simply put, you know, you don't have an album of Wouldn't It Be Nice's or God Only Knows or Help Me Rhonda's. You have Barnyard and Cabin Essence and Vegetables and, you know, it's really weird stuff. It's an album's album. It's not necessarily meant to be split up for radio play. Good Vibrations being the exception of that, and Heroes and Villains, of course. But, you know, if this had come out, I really do think they would have played Monterey Pop Festival. And the trajectory of their career after that point would have been a whole different ballgame. That said, Brian was always putting pressure on himself to better what he did the time before. So, if SMiLE had come out, and it had done really well for themselves, and the Beach Boys had to go out there and basically, you know, learn how to play all these songs live, which would have been a very interesting set list. Could you imagine them going out on stage in like 1968 singing Cabin Essence? How cool would that have been? What do you think would have happened? I also do think that the pressure would have been too much for Brian, and the next album may not have happened. I don't know. Or maybe he just would have checked out earlier and just done something on his own, or let the guys do an album by themselves for a bit so he could have time to relax. Who knows what would have happened? But curious to hear your what if story, because in the Beach Boys story, there are so many what ifs. And if SMiLE came out, what would have happened? Very curious to hear your thoughts. So that's it. My name is Giggens. Let's talk about the what ifs if SMiLE came out. And curious to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. My name is Giggens. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.